Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will continue talking about the claim that Dan Gibson made that Abdullah ibn Zubair moved the Kaaba from Petra to Mecca in the year 70 Hijrah. Let's go and listen to Dan Gibson.
The Umayyads still pray towards Petra, but the rebels in the Holy City in Medina and in Kufa chose to pray towards the new Qiblah in Saudi Arabia.
When the armies of Kufa met Ibn Zubair, Bujair ibn Abdullah al-Musli spoke, "Praise be to God who has tested us with shackles and tested you by your forgiving us. Ibn Zubair, we are people who turn to the same Qiblah as you."
What a strange phrase. We are the people who turn to the same Qiblah as you. Muslim historians argue that this means the same Qiblah as every other Muslim. But now that we have uncovered evidence of the change of Qiblah at this very time, this phrase takes on special significance. The people of Kufa join with Ibn Zubair in accepting his Qiblah. This is key to understanding much of what takes place later. Even though Ibn Zubair is eventually killed and seems to lose the civil war, the city of Kufa plays a major role in the development of the new Abbasid dynasty, and Kufa becomes a theological center and a place for copying Quran.
There are a couple of issues in this argument. First, this statement was not told to Abdullah ibn Zubair. It was rather told to his brother Mus'ab ibn Zubair. Now this is innocuous error because eventually Mus'ab ibn Zubair was on the side of his brother Abdullah ibn Zubair. So if this statement was told to Mus'ab ibn Zubair, then it is a statement of support for Abdullah ibn Zubair. The reason I'm showing this error is to show you that these people are so dishonest. The level of dishonesty of these people is unbelievable. They are lying even about the smallest details, which is not going to affect their argument in any way. Before we begin examining the source, we need to know when this statement was told to Ibn Zubair. Which year?
Ibn Zubair, we are people who turn to the same Qiblah as you.
Look at the smile on his face. He has found an irrefutable evidence. I just wish that the smile on his face would remain after he watches this video. Let's go and check the statement they just quoted from At-Tabari's book. This is the same statement we just heard. Let's now check which year was this. This was in the year 67 Hijrah. According to Dan Gibson, when did Abdullah ibn Zubair move the Qibla from Petra to Mecca?
But year 70 of Islamic history is of great importance. I believe that this is the year that the followers of Ibn Zubair moved south from Petra to the deserts of Arabia to find a place where they could hold out against the Umayyad forces.
He did it in the year 70. So, according to Dan Gibson, amazing theory, Abdullah ibn Zubair moved the Kaaba from Petra to Mecca in the year 70 Hijrah. The evidences that he did is a statement of support which was said in the year 67, 3 years before the alleged moving of the Qibla. Are you following what I'm saying? So Dan Gibson claims that Abdullah ibn Zubair moved the Qibla from Petra to Mecca in the year 70 Hijrah. And then the people of Kufa, they told him that they supported his new Qibla, the Qibla which was created in the year 70. When did they show their support? 3 years before the moving of Qibla. 67 Hijrah. What the heck are we dealing with here? Anyways, that's not all. Let's now lower our level of intelligence. Let's assume for argument's sake that year 67 comes after year 70.
When the armies of Kufa met Ibn Zubair,
They claim that this statement was told by an army of Kufa. The army of Kufa came to show their support for Abdullah ibn Zubair. they accepted the change of Qibla that Ibn Zubair did in the year 70 Hijrah. Is this what happened? Actually, no. The account in At-Tabari doesn't say that, and this statement was not told by an army of Kufa.
When the armies of Kufa met Ibn Zubair,
There was a war between Mus'ab and the people of Kufa, led by Al-Mukhtar Al-Thaqafi. Why they were fighting each other is a very long story. I don't want to complicate it for you now. Anyone can go and look up the rebellion of Al-Mukhtar Al-Thaqafi. So there was a war between Mus'ab ibn Zubair and Al-Mukhtar Al-Thaqafi. Mus'ab ibn Zubair won the war, and then he had so many captives, and this statement we just heard was told by one of the captives. He was pleading Mus'ab ibn Zubair to forgive him for going against him. Let's go and read the full account. Praise be to God, who has tested us with shackles and tested you by your forgiving us. There are two stations. One of them is God's good pleasure, the other his wrath. Whoever forgives, God forgives him and increases him in might. Whoever punishes is not safe from retaliation. Ibn Zubair, we are people who turn to the same Qibla as you and hold your creed. We are not Turks or Daylamites. Excuse my pronunciation. If we have quarreled with our brothers and fellow countrymen, either we are right and they're wrong, or we are wrong and they're right. We have fought among ourselves, as the people of Syria fought among themselves, who fought each other and then drew together, or as the people of Al-Basra fought among themselves, who quarreled and fought among themselves and then made peace and drew together. Now that you have obtained power, be gentle, having prevailed, forgive. Eventually, Mus'ab ibn Zubair killed them all. So, according to Dan Gibson, these people came to show support for the new Qibla, and Mus'ab ibn Zubair killed them. This was not a statement by an army showing support for any Qibla. This was a statement said by captives who were asking for forgiveness. While Dan Gibson is trying to use this to show you that the people of Kufa, the army of Kufa, came and showed their support for Ibn Zubair's new Qibla. Shameless lies. Finally, what about the statement itself? We are people who turn to the same Qibla as you. Again, this is another misinterpretation and deliberate ignorance on the Arabic language. It's a metaphorical phrase which refers to people following the same religion, which is why he's saying we are people who turn to the same Qibla as you and hold your creed. Does that mean that there were more than one creeds? That Abdullah ibn Zubair followed a different religion and the Umayyads followed different religion just because he said we are following your creed? Likewise, when he said that we are following your Qibla, it doesn't indicate that there were more than one Qibla. I'll give you an example from the Hadith of Prophet Muhammed ﷺ. This is a Hadith in Bukhari. Prophet ﷺ said, whoever prays like us and faces our Qibla and eats our slaughtered animals is a Muslim and is under Allah's and His Apostles' protection. Whoever prays like us and faces our Qibla. Does this hadith mean that there were more than one Qibla during the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? And this is another hadith, even though I'm not sure about the authenticity of this hadith, but I'm using it to show that the phrase Ahl Qiblatikum was commonly used to refer to people who follow the same religion. And before ending this video, let's rewatch this clip and have a good laugh.
praise be to God who has tested us with shackles and tested you by your forgiving us. Ibn Zubayr, we are people who turn to the same Qibla as you.
Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.